Right, hello all. Right, I've got a little treat today. I'm going to show you how we at crapfree.co.uk turn these here ingredients into a bar of soap. That's the way when it's cut, I'll do about 10 bars. We do everything in small batches, either by 10 or 20 bars. Um, So yeah, these are the things which which you would need if you wanted to make some soap. So a variety of jugs. This one I'll actually make the soap in, um, and it's the largest one, but I'll measure the fats out into that. I've already pre-weighed the water, I've already pre-weighed the lye, and I've already pre-weighed the essential oils. This one's going to be a tea tree. I've got a little knife, a whisk, a spatula, and a stick blender. They can go out with the way for now. So, the lye, sodium hydroxide. It is, it does burn. It is caustic. It's caustic soda. So care needs to be taken whenever we're working with lye. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've weighed out my lye. It's like I say, so it's a white powder. We always pour it into the water. Now it's very important that everything is weighed when you're making soap. It is a science. So we'll pour it into the water. You never pour the water into the lye. There will be a chemical reaction with this, and it will get very, very hot. We don't want it on our skin. And we don't want to be breathing in the vapors either. So I'm just going to mix this, and then I'm going to do my usual trick and just put it outside on the windowsill, and I'll be back. So that will cool down nice out there, and all of the fumes can vent off. Can vent off nicely without me having to breathe them in. So now we're going to weigh up the fats. Now you can use any fat and any oil. I don't know if you've seen the film Fight Club, where they're breaking into the liposuction company, business, clinic, and they're stealing the fat which has been extracted from people's thighs and butts, I guess, and they're making soap out of that and selling it back to the people. That's the irony of the film. So yeah, any fats. In this case, we're going to do a pretty simple one. We're going to do 100% tallow. This is our 100% tallow soap. It's one of our best sellers. We do in a variety of scents and unscented for those who may be particularly sensitive. And this is our home rendered 100% tallow. I can show you how we do that, but that's a topic for another video. So basically, I am going to weigh the desired amount. As you can see, I've zeroed the scales. I like to use glass if possible. I try to avoid plastic. We, as a business, like to avoid plastic as much as possible, as I'm sure anyone who's familiar with us is aware. There we go, that's 0.1 of a gram over. And as much as it needs to be, now this is going straight back in the fridge, as much as it needs to be exact, 0.1 of a gram over is okay. You wouldn't want to go less, because otherwise it could be lye heavy, and then there's the potential to burn. If there's slightly more fat in there, A, you've got that protection that you can't make it wrong and have it too caustic. And B, will be a much more moisturizing soap because there will be extra fat in there which will go on your skin. So just going to put this in the fridge, and then I'm back. The next job will be to turn this into a double boiler, put it on the hob, melt these fats down. You want the fat, and when the lye cools down, you want them roughly the same temperature. It's a cold process soap that we're making, so we don't want it hot. We want it nice and cool, and we want them roughly the same temperature. So I am going to put this on the hob. I'm going to clean up my jug with the lye in, put my lye away, safety first, wait for these to get to the temperature we need them, and then I'll be back and I'll show you the next step of the process. Right, hello, I'm back. The oils are melted, the lye has dissolved, it's clear. So on the temperature, that's 41 degrees C. The lye is 38.7 degrees C. So we're in the right ballpark. So basically what I'm going to do now is pour the lye into the oil. And just to expand on what I was saying earlier, so the lye, the caustic soda, I am going to rinse this out. So the lye, caustic soda, you cannot make soap without it. And if you were to buy a melt and pour soap, which you can get from soap suppliers and manufacturers, it's made out of lye. They've just already done this process for you. So we're gonna burp the stick blender so there's no air left in the bottom bit, and then we're gonna mix it up. Now we want this to go to what they call trace, so it's like a custardy kind of consistency, and it'll leave, you can see the soap tracing across the top. It's difficult to explain. When you know, you know. If I was to pour it like this, then we would have an unscented 100% tallow soap like we sell on our website. These three ingredients, the oil, the lye, and the water, that's as pure as you're ever going to get soap. As you've seen, there are no additives, there's no synthetic anythings, and so tallow will give you a very, very moisturizing bar, depending on the oils that you use. And we do a whole variety of different soaps. We do vegan, organic, we do tallow ones, we do a mixture of the both. So because it's so moisturizing, you'll get a hard bar, but you'll get a nice creamy lather. Whereas if you use something like coconut oil, predominantly coconut oil, which is a very cleansing oil, so cleansing, in fact, some people can find it drying because it washes the natural oils out of your skin. It's so cleansing. But that will be really, 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 really bubbly. And we use that in our pink salt soap because soap made out of coconut oil is the only soap which will lather in salt water. Another fun fact for you. What we are going to do to this one is add, I'm going to get just at the beginning a trace, and then I'm going to put some tea tree essential oil in it. We only use essential oils, we don't use fragrance oils. There's a blog on our website discussing fragrance oils and the harms that they are, the poisons that they are. So companies, particularly the big companies, they can add hundreds, potentially thousands of different ingredients. And because a fragrance is a trade secret, they don't have to declare the ingredients. It's another one of those little loopholes that can be found. Like I say, this is as pure as the soap as you're going to get. It's a very hard bar. It's very, very moisturizing. Right, so I can see now this trace. I don't know if you're going to see it, but as I'm sprinkling that liquid on there, it's leaving. I can see where it is, so I'm going to be quick. I'm going to add the essential oil, which again is a pure essential oil. Mix this in. I do have a mold. Obviously, you have to pour soap into a mold. I showed you the finished product. That will cut into about 10 bars. Everything we do is small batch. At the most, we'll make 20 bars at a time. and that is it. Now, the beauty of soap making as a hobby or a business, it's so environmentally friendly. As you can see, everything is reusable. Even the paper that I line our molds with is recycled and biodegradable and compostable and recyclable. Right, I'm going to pour that now. That's as good as we're going to get. Yeah, everything. And the cleanup, basically, when we clean all of these utensils and jugs and bowls and everything else, we're just cleaning soap. It's a very, very clean, environmentally friendly. We wrap all of our soaps in paper. We try to avoid plastic as much as we possibly can. It's nigh on impossible these days. Excuse me, there's a little bit of something in there that we don't want getting in our soap. And hopefully, as you've seen, this spatula is the only thing I've used which isn't either glass or metal. I try my best not to use plastic. This is silicone, and like I say, I've been pretty good. You've seen our process, but it really does take every bit off the glass. It's such an effective tool, and I don't know what I would use instead of it, to be honest. But you know, we have a good description on our soaps. If you want any further information about the type of soap and you know the benefits of each particular soap and the ingredients used in it, we've got blogs and there's a good description. Now we'll tap that down, a bit of cardboard over the top, wrap it in some towels. We don't want it cooling down too quick. And then the block which I showed you earlier is how this will come out when we unwrap it. Now I'll unbox it tomorrow. It'll be ready to cut. I could probably cut it the next day, to be honest. And then we leave them for, depending on the oil that we use, but for a tallow one, we'll leave that at least 6 weeks, and that gives it a chance to harden, to cure, so the water will evaporate out of it, give you a harder, longer lasting bar, and it will become a bit gentler, a bit softer on the skin. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Any more information which you might want, please drop us a line. We have videos on our YouTube channel and more coming. We have plenty of blogs on our website with more coming. We've got a whole host of plastic-free natural fibre products as well as our health and beauty stuff. But please give us a visit at crapfree.co.uk. Thank you very much and see you all soon.